Let's talk about something else, though. Guns. We're going to go half-cocked right now with Frank Burgin. Half-Cocked Gunsmithing is the name of your business in Old Town Clovis. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Tell me about your business, Half-Cocked.
Well, we picked the name because on the old pistols, the only safety was to pull the hammer back one click, which is half-cocked, and that's how we picked the name. There's a little humor in it.
It's a catchy name, too, yeah. So do you sell guns there? What do you do?
We buy, sell. My main thing is a gunsmith. I repair guns. Mm-hmm. But we have everything. We have grips for pistols. We have magazines. We have ammunition. We have everything.
Yeah. You say repair guns. What goes wrong with guns? They just jam? Or?
Well, there's a lot of springs in guns, and springs fatigue, and they break. And believe it or not, guns that are brand new sometimes don't work.
Well, I would think a new gun comes with a warranty, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and you can ship it back. There's a gun, Sig Sauer Mosquito. It's a .22 pistol. It only will shoot CCI mini-mags, which is the most expensive .22 on the market. But I can modify it and fix it so it'll shoot anything.
Huh. And what's it called, a Mosquito?
It's called a Mosquito. It's a very popular .22 made by Sig Sauer.
Mosquito doesn't sound like a very manly name for a gun. You know?
Well, I didn't
I have
pick
a mosquito.
I didn't pick the name. So.
Now, Colt or Remington, those sound like...
Well, those are manufacturers' names.
Yeah. So how'd you get into this line of work?
Well, I started over 60 years ago helping my father, who wanted to be a policeman, but he was too short. And he became the armor or the gunsmith for the precinct in our neighborhood. So
in Clovis?
No. This was in Los Angeles.
Ah, okay.
And we had police and guns in our house every day, and I got started cleaning the guns and doing the grunt work. And then over time, I was allowed to do more and more, and been doing it ever since.
So you were around them from the time you were a little kid?
Yes, I grew up around guns.
Yeah. Do you think it's important that... If you're going to have guns in your house, a child should understand, right, how they work and that they can kill and that they're dangerous weapons.
I have a 9-year-old grandson that has been taught gun safety. We're going to go shooting this coming Sunday. But yes, you have to teach them the right and the wrong.
Yeah. And you have to keep them locked up in a gun
gun
cabinet?
Safe,
or
yes.
You sell the gun locks too?
I do.
What are they called, trigger locks?
Well, they have more than one kind. Some go actually through the action of the gun, like a regular padlock, like you maybe use on a bicycle. Then there's some that have a cable, and then there's some that go in the trigger area that are trigger locks, yes.
I've always wondered, though, about that if you're going to need a gun, you're probably going to need it fairly quickly. And who has time, if you're being attacked, to go find the key, unlock it, take the...
Like I have a gun beside my bed. I don't have any children in my house anymore, but...
Well, then you don't have to worry about the lock stuff, right?
No.
Yeah.
But you have to take some precautions. They have gun safes for individual guns that you just touch them and they're sensitive to your fingerprints and open very fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're a little bit pricey. So there's ways to get to your gun fast if you need it,
okay.
And still be safe.
Yeah, and you have all those things in the store?
I don't have those. I have gun safes, big ones and small ones, but I don't have the ones that are fingerprint sensitive.
Yeah. Are guns still selling well right now? I mean, people are very afraid of crime, it seems, right now.
Guns are selling. Ammunition is hard to get right now. People are hoarding it. If I can, I'd like to share with you that the safest country in the world is Switzerland. Every home has a gun. You're required to serve in the military in Switzerland, same as Israel. When you get out of the service, you take your gun home with you. You have to maintain the gun and stay proficient with it. It's Switzerland's theory that way they have an armed militia. It's one of the only countries Hitler did not invade, for a good reason. But you don't break into a house in Switzerland because there's a gun in there and somebody knows how to use it. And I think in the right circumstances, gun makes things much safer.
Yeah. What's your personal favorite?
Pistol-wise, I love the 1911. That was
made in 1911, or is that a model number?
No, it's both. There's government models, but the 1911 was built and designed by John Moses Browning in 1911. It's still a very popular gun today. The man was a genius.
They don't still make it today,
Oh,
do they?
they do. They
really?
do,
The
yes.
exact same?
They're making, there's probably 15, maybe more than that, different manufacturers that make a 1911, Springfield, Colt, Smith & Wesson, Rock Island. There's a bunch of different manufacturers that make it, but they're all basically the same and basically the same gun that was made in 1911. It was adopted by the government to be a sidearm for the people in the military, and it's just a great gun.
Hey, when something works,
Yeah,
why
change
mess with it,
Yes.
right? Yeah. What about the modern guns? Any?
Well, I'm old school, and when they first came out with plastic guns, I thought, what a joke this is. But the Glocks and stuff, they've got the polymers now to where they're every bit as good or better in some ways than the old style guns.
No, when you say that, that scares me, because can those be picked up by like the metal detectors at
Oh
the
yeah,
airport?
because they're not all plastic. They just make
Parts of them.
parts of it are made from plastic. And I shouldn't use the word plastic. Polymer is
Polymer. Okay, so, but you say they're better in some cases than the other?
Well, they're lighter if you have to carry it. Like the M16 that's being used in Afghanistan today. The lowers can be made out of polymer. The ones they're using are made out of aluminum, but they can be made out of polymer. The guards for the temperatures at the barrels when they get hot are made from polymer. The stocks are polymer. They're lighter, so if you have to carry it all day, you don't want to be carrying a 16-pound gun.
Yeah. Now, there are still restrictions, right, on who can buy, or there's a waiting period before you can take
There's
the gun
still
home?
a 10-day wait when you buy either a handgun or a long gun. You cannot be a convicted felon. During this 10-day wait, they do a background check on you to make sure that you're qualified to own. And you have to take a simple, but a test before you can even buy the gun. A handgun safety and a long gun safety test.
Do you take that at your store? Where do you take that?
You take that at the store. And then you pay for the gun, fill out the paperwork. It gets sent to the DOJ in Sacramento. They do the background check, and then you either get an approval or a disapproval, which happens occasionally. And then you can pick up your gun.
10 days later.
10 days later, yes.
Okay. All right, you're in Old Town Clovis on 4th, just west of Pulaski. Are you open 7 days a week? Or
6 days.
6 days.
We're open 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8:30 to 2:30 on Saturday.
Okay. Are you online?
I have a website, www.halfcockgunsmithing.com.
Halfcockedgunsmithing.com.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Frank, for coming in.
Mike, my pleasure.
Frank Burgin, Halfcocked Gunsmithing. He's going. Look at
Will you stick around?
We'll be back on Central Valley Talk. He's a busy guy.